Likutei Moharan, Likutei Moharan, Torah Chaf Hey. So we said that the way to deflate demionis, we're holding by, this is Seif Daled. The Seif Daled, but towards the end of Seif Daled of Torah Chaf Hey. They would say the way to deflate, being that when you go from one madriga to the next, immediately the demionis start up, the taivas start up, and you can very easily find yourself doing things that you're not so In fact, you can sometimes be astonished to the depth that you can go. So something happens, something puts you down, you get depressed, somebody gives you a clap that you didn't expect out of left field, whatever it is, and suddenly you're depressed, and suddenly you cannot talk to anybody, and suddenly you can't daven, and suddenly you can't this, and you go and you do something that you haven't done in I don't know how long, and you're scratching your head and you're saying like, what on earth? And I don't want to stop doing it. I'm doing it, but I don't want to stop doing it. But I don't want to stop doing it, but I don't want to stop doing it. As you'll see later on, and the Rebbe says, but that's a very common mistake by Chassidim, that they think that they fell down from the Madrega. No, these are the Bilbulim, these are the Taivas. The thing is, every nefesh from Am Yisrael, in many places, in Likutei Moharan, the Rebbe brings the good and the bad. And says whenever the good rises, the bad rises. Like in Torah Aleph, it says, Zelu Maseh. You give the koyach, the malchus, the kedushas, the malchus, the shur comes up. And then the Rebbe says that any nefesh b'Yisrael, before it comes to his galus of Hashem, has to go through the galus of the 70 nations. Which means to go through the taivas and the bilbulim and the inyonim. And what we fail to realize, because we just look at our lives as just, that's little old me, thank you for the coffee, so it's little old me, who am I, what am I worth, I'm absolutely nothing. And you forget that what you really are, you are the man of the tzaddik. Okay, you belong to the army of the tzaddik. And you have you have the Samech Mem himself, and all the 70 nations, and all the 70 facets of Tum'ah, facing you, and championing with you. It's not your war, it's the war of the tzaddik. You are his emissary. You're part of the war. It's not your private struggle. You're in it. As they said in the Pirates of the Caribbean, the first thing says, you better start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one. You just start believing in the milchama of the tzaddik against the Samech Mem. You're in one. You're in one. You're in the milchama. What you're facing, these dimyonis, this bilbulim, there's averis, downright averis, that you fall into. That you said, I can't believe I'm the same sheikh as it used to be years ago. Nothing has changed. A lot has changed. You see, there was a crest before the trough. You are in the war now. The fact, so what am I going to do? I'm in the trough, I'm in the Yerida, I'm in the whatever it is. You run to Kodesh Baruch Hu. Immediately, you snitch. You tell on yourself. Ribono Shalom, I just went and did that as if he doesn't know. No, you tell. He says, as we said in Dibur Emunah, it says, V'ish ki yechta, says, V'shama kol Allah, and he heard a word of swearing. V'lo yogid v'nosa avoinai, and he wouldn't say, and he wouldn't tell about it, and he will carry the Aveira, and he will carry the responsibility for the Aveira. Al pi pshat, what it says is, if a person hears another person, lo aleinu, blaspheme the name of Hashem, he has to report about it, and if he doesn't, he carries responsibility for it. But by us, it says not like this. V'ish ki yechta is a Kodesh Baruch Hu saying, V'ish ki yechta, a Yid will make an Aveira? V'shama kol Allah, he heard the Shvuah that Mashbi'im otos, the Tanya says, they swear him, be a tzaddik and don't be a rasha before it comes to the world. How can a Yid ki yechta? How can a Yid do a chet? So he says, V'lo yogid, and you don't run to Kodesh Baruch Hu to tell about it, v'nos avoina, then you carry the avoina. Which means how you don't carry the oven. If you run to Kodesh Baruch Hu and you tell him about it, this is what I did. I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. Don't tell your friends, because you won't be able to face them anymore from embarrassment. Don't do that. Only before Kodesh Baruch Hu, only before the Tzaddik and Islam Yitri. Only by him you can tell him what you did, and not only you won't be embarrassed, you'll be strengthened.
What if you need advice? What to do?
If you need advice, so you say Beklalius, listen, I fell on an Aveira, and I can't get out. No specific. And not only this, a person should never ever try to get a scoop, a paparazzi, to get somebody else to catch him red-handed. Ever. Don't do that. Look the other way. If the person, you see that the person is leading towards Aveira, you can tell him, listen, to try them up. But if he's already in the middle of Aveira, turn away. Turn away. Don't look at him. Don't see him at the time, at his hardest hour. Don't look at him. Don't look at him. Don't look at anybody else's life. Don't look at the little details in somebody else's life. So what do you do when you go through this? The inyan is tzedakah. Because what you need to do is you need to reveal the glory for Kodesh Baruch Hu, and in the tzedakah, in the money, we had a long shiurim over here, long, but we explain why dafka in money, because money is the governing Elohim, that's the supernal colors, which the aspires for Kodesh Baruch Hu, and when you give tzedakah, you show that you know that the money comes from a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Liya kesef, liya zav. I own the money, I own the gold. This is why you're giving it to tzedakah. Kodesh Baruch Hu gave it to me, and I give it, to somebody, to a poor person who is an honest person, and with this you are mesaken your entire money. This makes this galus alakus in where you are, and helps you get out of the dimyonis which are in your madrega. Tzedakah always is the answer. You should know. Patoach tiftach, the Rebbe says, tzedakah, any kind of avodah that you want to get into, start with tzedakah. Tzedakah opens the door. And if the door is open, it widens the opening. Patoach tiftach. Tzedakah opens. You don't know what to do? Give tzedakah. Open up. Open up the door. Open up the door. And he says this is even if the goyim or or somebody forces you to give tzedakah, takes it away from you, even by decrees, even by this is also tzedakah. Because why do the goy make decrees on us that we have to give tzedakah, or have to give, head tax or whatever it is? Because we're Yidden. And why are we giving them? We could have just converted, look like goy, we won't have to give it. So why are we paying? Because we want to remain Yidden. This in itself is showing monies from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm paying it for my Yiddishkeit. That's called a Yiddish tax. A tax for being a Yid. This also is v'noksayich tzedakah. Those who bully you, this is also considered tzedakah. And this says that's the reason why the goyim envy the Yidden, and they say that Yidden have all the money, is because the governing the loin, they shine only when the money is in the hands of a Yid, because a Yid is a chelak kolokam imal. But the minute that the goy comes, so that second when he grabs the money, it shines to him. But a second later, the time of it's like, as I said, it's like you have a lamp that is plugged to the wall, and you have another room which is dark. So you want to take the light of this, you unplug it, and you want to take the light of that room, but the minute you unplug it from the wall, it turns off. The minute you unplug the money from the Yid, the governing law turn off. And this is not Vizeh, and this is what Saba de Beatuna said. This is the entire Shaila. Vizeh Shamru Saba de Beatuna to Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya. Achva leimana de lo shave lechabola. Show us a keli that is not worth the damage it causes. Ase budio pashtu. They brought a mat and they opened it up. V'lo elotal. He and he wouldn't get through the door. V'omelon aisu mala besatre. Bring a hammer and break the wall around the door. Make the opening widen. So they brought a to the opening lapesach imakoisel. L'sase lapesach imakoisel. Pirush budia, which is the Aramaic word for a mat. Budia is b'doya salev. This is the fictions that your heart tells you. These are the dimyonis. Ma'asher bodei beliboy. What a person dreams up in his heart. Hainu amedama. That's the dimyonis. Hainu shriru salev. She's koach hamedama shabalev. That's the koach hamedama in the heart. The goyva mishpasos ala odom, that he overcome and he takes over a person. When a person goes from the lower madrega to the high madrega, the koach hamedama takes over him like a rash. And that klipa, which is the medama, the dimyonis, lo shavya, it doesn't put in front of his eyes it doesn't pay attention to the fact that he was already annihilated by the person that used to be in this madrega before, because he was already put down before. It doesn't care. It doesn't let the person go through the door. A person cannot go into the gate of Kedusha. Shia Sechel, that's the Sechel in the new Madrega that you are. Mechmas is Gabu Samadama. And because of the Madama, the Dimyonis came up again. And the Eitza for that is Stiras Pesach, breaking down the Pesach, which is the Madama, which is the Tuma, it's called Pesach. As Chazal said, Abali Tome Poschin. Anybody that comes, to be Metama, they open them. Shenema Pchinas La Pesach Chatas Rovetz. B'zat Hashem, we'll talk about it a little bit later. Kol Tov.